Hey everyone, this is Raina Creel with Purpose and Passion. What a lovely day it is. Yes, it's kind of pouring down a little bit, rainy, kind of rainy day. But you know what? What's a blessing about rain is like, I don't know, it feels like recharging, purification, things of that nature. And talking about beautiful things or beautiful days, I have a special guest today, Miss Dazy. She goes by Dazy, but I say Miss Dazy because you're about to see what I'm talking about today.
Thank you.
So thank you, Dazy, for gracing your beauty on the show. Oh my God, you made my hair look real good.
Yeah, no, I tried.
You did really good. I was like, oh my
looks,
God, yes it does.
all I did was push it to the front.
Oh my God, you made me look beautiful.
No,
Hey, Raina.
You were born like that.
Oh,
thank you for having me.
Oh my God, well, I'm so excited. So as everybody knows, I always get from the cue card because I do not like to miss anything. So Dazy, I met her because she was a hairstylist, as in cutting hair. She used to do hair to dye and stuff like that, but she specialized in curly hair. So we're gonna talk about that because I have this situation where I don't know how to embrace this curly hair, so I always flat iron it, you know. So we're gonna get to that topic in a few, but also you can follow Dazy at the Dazy Cut. So you'll see her information below, you know, the screen. And then also Dazy is a artist. I'm talking about like when I think about rap, I'm like, oh my God, Dazy blew my mind. Like I am a Angie Martinez fan since the 90s and I'm a Wu-Tang fan, you know what I mean? I love me some Tupac. But when it comes to women rappers, it's rare to see these beautiful women, you know, I'm talking about like more a little bit feminine, just have this rap flow like a beast inside. And so I'm like, dang, Dazy, she blew my mind. So I was like, I have to have her on Purpose and Passion.
Thank you so much.
So you can follow Dazy at underscore Lynn.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
Dazy Lynn.
So the Dazy Cut is for my hair page,
yes.
And Dazy underscore Lynn is for my personal pages where I post most of my rapping stuff. I don't post none of that on my hair stuff.
Yes, two separate, right?
Yeah. So I don't even think they know I rap. I haven't told them yet.
Yeah, but it's you blew me away. So I was like, you're a rapper now for me.
Oh, thank you.
You're a rapper. And so you know, this is Purpose and Passion. So I always, you know, I'm starting to ask my guests like regarding the purpose. So do you have a purpose and do you know your purpose?
Absolutely. I think that when I was younger, I had this idea of what purpose was.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like surrounding business and career. Yes. And you know how I made money, things like that, because I think I was kind of following society standards as to what that meant. And as I evolve, I feel like it changes. And at this moment, my purpose is to live authentically. Any room that I step into, to be exactly who I am, show my personality exactly the way it is and not alter it, whoever's in the room, you know. And that to me is very important. I think that when I was younger, I was kind of like I was myself, but a bit of a chameleon.
Yes.
You know, where I entered certain spaces and, you know, I acted a little differently to kind of mesh with the people around me. And now I'm like, absolutely not. I do not compromise who I am. And I'm constantly in my mind about that. Yes. Like, you gotta be honest, you gotta be authentic, and you gotta be true. If you don't fuck with this, you do not have to, you know. So as of right now, my purpose is to just live authentically and to share my wisdom, my experiences, because I think that the best thing that I can do during my time here is to inspire others to um, live authentically and to also kind of evolve within themselves, you know. So I am an I am constantly in deep self-reflection.
Yes.
All day long.
Yeah.
And I encourage other people to do the same. So, you know, that's really my purpose here, I think, is to just yeah, to just live and to show people how I've changed my life.
Yeah, I love it. And then your passion.
Oh my goodness. My passion, well, you know, I'm an artist.
Yes.
Like from the moment that I was born, like, you know, my first talent, I guess, would be drawing, you know. So I draw, and I'm just a creative.
Yes.
So I think that what it has come down to, my understanding is that I love to make something out of nothing.
Okay. That makes sense.
And my interests are in music, fashion, beauty, like all things beauty. Like I love it all. I love, you know, makeup and hair and fashion and music. It all goes hand in hand.
Yes.
You know, so for me, I think that that's just always been my niche.
Okay.
Since I was a child.
Yeah.
So that is my passion, making videos, content.
I know, I like it.
I am obsessed.
Well, we're going to talk about a video because it hit me personally, right? Because it was a video that you have on the Dazy cut, at Dazy cut on Instagram. Yeah. Do you have straight hair tendencies? And yeah. I'm like, for me, yes, I do. I wear my hair straight because I don't want to deal with the curly hair.
Yeah.
And talk about that a little bit, because, you know, there's a lot of women that have curly hair that just straightens it all day.
I think that, you know, for a very long time, straight hair was in. Yes. And it was like the standard of beauty, you know, TV, magazines, and all that. Yes. And I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden having curly hair is like really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you know, I noticed it, you know, when it happened as well. And you know, it's actually easier to handle curly hair, like when you get out of the shower, as opposed to, you know, straightening and doing all of that. So I think it's a lot faster, you know, to go through your day naturally than dealing with the straight hair. But I mean, the way that I came up with straight hair tendencies is I just kind of looked at my own pattern as to how I treated my hair.
That middle part, I was like, oh my goodness, like I always do the part because it's easier for me to comb my hair, but my hair is always flat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the heck?
So for those that are watching, straight hair tendencies is this term that I came up with to describe things that we do stepping out of the shower, and things that we do to style our curly hair that make it so much flatter and straighter than it needs to be. So if you're on your curly hair journey, I suggest you watch this video because it will totally help you achieve the look that you see on Instagram. Like when we look at girls with curly hair and it's like really big and voluminous,
just beautiful.
They are not, most of them are not doing the straight hair tendencies. Yeah. Like some of them do, but they can get away with it because their hair has just so much volume that they can still get away with it. Straight hair tendencies is pretty much, this is the speech that I would give, that I would give everyone.
We're here for it.
It's like, so most of us have watched our mothers, our aunts, all these people do their hair in the same manner. So we think that that's just how you do your hair. So you get out of the shower and you immediately do a part, either down the middle or to the side, whatever your style is, and you comb it out. And then you might get a lot of product running through your fingers, like a lot of product because you don't want to have frizz. Yeah. And then you just kind of start scrunching at the bottom and you let it be. And what happens when you do that is you are straightening out your root, you are flattening your root, and you are loosening that curl because you're combing it out. Again, some people can't get away with it because some people, no matter what you do, if you comb through that, it'll spring right up.
Yes.
Before
my hair.
Yeah, but for the majority of my clients, like that, it's true, you know, like we straighten out our roots. So my recommendation is that when you get out of the shower, instead of, sure, detangle it while you're in the shower, but don't comb through it again when you step out of the shower.
Okay, so that was my problem.
Don't part your hair.
Okay.
You know, everything that I do is upside down. So I toss the hair forward, run product through the hair, but not too much, because if you put too much product, it will weigh it down.
Okay, okay.
And once, you know, there is enough product, you scrunch from the root, because you need to create texture in an area that wants to straighten and flatten out. So you create texture, and you know, once you've done that and you've diffused, I also have diffusing videos. You toss your hair up and you let your hair fall naturally.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that video.
Sometimes, you know, your hair will fall naturally down the middle, and you know, you wanted it down the middle anyway, but now you have volume because you don't have this part that like completely forces one side of the hair to go left and the other to go right. Now it just is, you know, and it's like coming straight out of the root, and it gives you so much more volume like that. So, and you know what, straight hair tendencies has gotten really popular, so I'm really happy, you know, to have like kind of thought of it and spoken about it. That's
because I saw that video, I was like, oh my god, that's me.
That's part of sharing.
Yeah, and also, like I always tell people, the show Purpose and Passion is always about educating, inspiring, empowering, and teaching awareness. So today you're definitely inspiring us, girls that have curly hair, to embrace our curls,
man,
and how to do it right.
I should have worn my hair curly. I didn't.
Well, it's in the back, it's curly. It's beautiful.
Well, I combed it out, so it's like,
but it's beautiful.
You know, thank you. I just, you know, it's raining outside.
Yeah, it is.
And I didn't want to get my hair wet.
Yeah,
and, you know, but next time if you want to look at my page and look at my hair, you could do that.
Yes, definitely, and then also kind of share with the viewers about, like, you know, your talents on curly hair, cutting the curly hair, because I remember when my hair kind of got damaged, you were able to, I don't know, show me my curls, like my real curls, and I haven't seen those curls ever in a minute, because in the 90s I would use Vital Care mousse and spritz to like make it lock in there.
I hear you. You had that chola hair, that crunchy chola hair, which was in at
but
that
not
time.
Anymore.
It's not in anymore.
So your friend's product is what I use.
Yes.
And I'm learning how to use it. But I think now when I go home today and I wash my hair, I am going to follow your routine with that product.
You know, your hair is also in a state of shock because of how long you have been straightening it for.
Yes.
So it won't bounce back right away.
Yeah, only the back bounces back. Yeah. Not the front, just the back.
The front,
curls come out in the back only. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, the front definitely has a bit more. It takes a while longer to heal. Mm-hmm. But
sorry.
Oh no.
Like my nose.
It's okay. So I'm sorry, what did you ask me?
We were talking about like the process of the cutting the hair, you know, how you wash it, and then you like the process, because I want people to understand that it is a process. It's not a long process, but it's a process, because this is your talent. You know what I mean? With curly hair, it's rare to find that, because everybody's always working on straight hair. And then you have people that specialize in that thin straight hair. Oh, yeah. So when you go to these salons, your hair is frizzy because it's either too, you know, it's not enough heat on your hair.
Oh, yeah.
Or when you're having curly hair, people don't know how to take care of it, so your hair looks like a big frizz ball. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when I was in school, there was no education on curly hair. there was a very mild form, but it always, the end result was always you blow drying it straight at the end.
Yeah.
Like they would talk about it. They'd say, you know, hey, when you're cutting curly hair, you know, if it's wet, just know that it's going to be even shorter once it's dry.
Yes.
You know, basic little things like that. But I am 100% self-taught in this curly hair
Industry.
Yes, 100% self-taught. You know, my mother had extremely curly hair, much curlier than my own. So I had a lot of experience with her hair. So I was never scared of curly hair. So when I was in school and people would come in, it was like, oh, I can handle this, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, but once again, it was always straightening. And to add on to what you were saying, when I would blow dry, my blow dries would come out flawless because I knew that you had to attack curly hair when it was wet.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people in, especially like in school, like they teach you to like pre-dry.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, no, my friend, you don't do none of that with curly hair because that's when the frizz comes up. You let those roots kind of dry out a little bit, and then you go in there, you're just going to have a frizzy mess. But if you go in while it's wet, then yes, you're going to have a pretty sleek outcome, especially if you have some power in that wrist.
Yeah.
So, you know, I knew these things at 8 years old.
Wow.
You know, like I remember my mom taking me to get her hair done, and you know, she was getting her hair blow dried, and I was watching, and I said, easy. You know, and I told my mom when we got home, I said, you know, I could do that to your hair. She's like, you can? I said, yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
And I said, you just got to buy me the brush and the stuff. And I would do it flawless, like at like 9, 10 years old. Yeah. So I've just always had a way with hair where hair just kind of tends to obey me. Sounds a little arrogant, but it's just I know how to communicate with hair.
Yeah.
Where I'm not fighting with it, I'm working with it.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gift to cut hair. Like serious.
Yeah,
it is a gift.
I agree. And you know, when I started to cut curly hair, the way that it happened was, you know, I had a full clientele for hair coloring.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, so, I remember that.
Yeah, so like I was, you know, fully booked for that. And the way that I started to switch things up was I met my friend now, Julissa Prado, who owns Rizos Curls.
I'm so proud of her.
Yes, she's doing amazing things. And when I met her, you know, I told her I have a few curly haired clients. Like I'd love to try out these products. Which, you know, I ended up trying them out. And I remember the first time that I did it, I told my girl, I said, hey, instead of your regular blow dry today, can we style your hair naturally? She's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you know, like how it is, like I'll diffuse it, you know, we'll bring out your curls. And she was like, okay, like let's try it. And, you know, I did it. And I posted it on my social media on a story.
Yes.
And the amount of feedback that I got from that post was eye-opening.
Yeah.
Because they were like, I realized that a lot of people, they just they had never embraced their curls. Everyone was reaching out like, did you give her a perm? And I was like, no. I was like, no, that's her hair. And they were like, oh my God, like I have curly hair. Do you think that my hair could do that? And I'd be like, I don't know. You got to come in and find out.
Yes.
And, you know, some time passed. I want to say maybe like 2-3 months that I was doing this where, you know, some people would be like, oh, girl, you crazy. You know, I'm here for my blow dry. Like do the blow dry. And I would do it. But it started picking up. And I was like, I'm very cautious about my energy and my time and how much I spend doing things. And girl, like shout out to the hairstylists that work with hair color, because that is one of the toughest jobs there is. Honestly, they don't get paid enough. They spend hours. Like I used to spend a good 6 to 9 hours sometimes doing someone's hair. And frankly, the amount that I charged wasn't even worth it.
Yes.
The amount of energy, like I would be so
Yeah, because
drained.
that's a lot of hours. I know that just because of my hair. It takes
You get drained
five,
yourself.
six, yeah, five,
Imagine
6 hours. I'm like, oh my God, are we done yet?
imagine homegirl physically and mentally
Yeah, working
working.
on your hair,
Yeah.
which is a lot. Like I'm late. I'm tired because I'm sitting there for
Yeah.
that long hours, but she's tired because she got to do it all this.
Yeah. And I did it for a few years, and then it got to a point where I was like, wait, you know what? Like, this is not worth it to me
Yeah.
anymore. And I had to be honest with myself because I had an entire clientele that I
Yes.
had built solid relationships with
And a
since.
huge Instagram following.
Yes,
My gosh.
since I left school, I
Mhm.
had built these relationships, and I had already said peace out to the nails because
Yeah.
I was doing nails too. So, throughout the years, they had seen me start off doing nails, and
Uh-huh.
then they saw me be like, you know what? I don't think I want to do nails anymore.
Yes,
I'm just
yes.
gonna do hair. And they saw me be super enthusiastic about hair, and then
Yes.
all of a sudden I get to a point a few years down where I'm like, I made an Instagram post, I think it was late November,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I have a confession. I do not like what I do anymore, and from here on out I will only be doing curly
Cuts,
haircuts,
yeah.
curly haircuts. And I posted it, and I had a pretty big response of like my clients like, what am I gonna
I
do,
know,
like what
like,
am
no.
and I was like, yo, like I'm so sorry, but like I gotta be true to myself.
Yourself, yes.
And I think that if so many of us were to follow that within
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, to be honest with ourselves about what makes us happy and what doesn't,
Yeah.
we'd be in such a better space
Yes,
mentally and spiritually.
of course.
So that's what I did. I was just honest, and I said, I'm never doing this again. And I stuck by it. I never did it
Yep.
again. And it's been about 4 years now that all I do is cut curly hair, and I see about 5 women a day. When I
Wow.
do work, I don't work every day, but I work about
Yeah,
every
when
other
you do.
day.
Yeah, when you
Every other
do.
day, I see 5 women a day. It's been very consistent. I have the most loyal clients, and it's a wonderful space that we
Yes.
share, and it's very authentic. And, I love that the women that come in and see me feel like they can trust me.
Of
And
course.
girl, they tell me, so we tell each other things
Yeah,
because
you're actually the therapist.
I sure am. And here's the crazy thing, and I know you have it too, is I've developed gifts.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is, if it's because I've been touching hair. And they say that hair is like they're your spiritual
Yes,
antennas.
yes, yes, yes.
So sometimes well, not sometimes, all the time,
Yes.
when I touch their hair, it's like soon as we get to talking, I start seeing things,
Yeah. And feeling what
and
they're going through. It's
yeah,
called the gift of discernment.
yes.
Yeah.
And like I can literally feel what they're going
Mm-hmm.
through. Sometimes I can see the people that they're
Yes.
talking about, and immediately spirit is like, tell them
Yes,
this,
yes,
this,
yes,
this.
yes.
And I just, it's like like word vomit.
Yes.
And I'm just like letting it out, and they're like, how do you know these things, like how,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I don't know, but like you got to get out, or
Yeah.
it's no, this is a good person for you,
Yes,
like
yes, yes,
this
yes.
person really admires you,
Yeah.
really supports you, like this is a good place for you, or it's like, girl, you better run,
Yes.
and
I hear you.
yeah. And like I know we've talked about that
Yeah.
before,
Yep,
where
I
you
remember.
you have these gifts
Yep, I
of like being
remember.
able to see things. Mine are not as developed, I
Yeah.
think, but definitely in that setting, the intuition is just heightened.
Yeah, which is a blessing because a lot of people, I always tell people, women in general, we have that intuition, period. Because we're women. And I always tell people, like, people, trip out, like, well, we're not goddesses. And I'm like,
Yes,
I understand what you're saying because of, certain beliefs. I said, but what I mean by we're goddesses is because we're the backbones of the family. We're the one that birthed children. You know what I mean? Like our
absolutely.
bones like when women are like, I didn't get a chance to experience what I've wanted to experience was natural birth. I had cesareans,
I'm sorry.
and that was a hard process.
Yeah.
But I know that like when women are giving birth, their bones like move in so many directions. Like they said, it was like considered like more than 20 broken bones in the body. And then once the baby comes out, the bones come back and put itself together. So it's like, wow, like what a blessing. You know what I mean? To be able to bring, life into this earth, and it's a piece of you. You know what I mean? And
Women are
so
incredible.
we
Absolutely.
are, we
Mm-hmm.
are. And that's why I always tell people like I'm all about women empowerment and just looking at the journey of women. And that's the reason why I have Daisy, in the building today, because it's inspiring to hear
Thank you.
everybody's story. And then talking about, before we get into the rap, um, you had a good spiritual awakening.
Oh yeah.
And so I want you to kind of talk a little bit about that, because I saw a spiritual change,
Shift.
yeah, shift,
Shift.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's when that happened, I saw the shift change, like everything from eating correctly to all kind of stuff, and I am one of those people where like I saw one of my friends, she had posted something and she was all like, I guess you could see who shares or who likes or who saves.
Okay.
And so she was like, but she was saying it like, she had haters, right?
Okay.
So I had told her, I said, I circled it and I was like, well, I'm one of those people that save, but I'm the admirer. I
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
your page and I save because I was like, I admire you.
Oh,
And then
that's
she
so
was like,
sweet.
baby mama. I don't know why she called me baby mama, but she was like, baby mama, thank you so much. I love you. And I said, that's what I love to do. I love to be supportive. And you get more with love. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar. You know what I mean? So if you just see women blossom to who they need to be, everybody need that support system. You know what I mean? As a woman, as women, you need that.
I mean, you get what you put out.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's a blessing that you're doing for others and a
Yeah.
blessing on your own life when you
Yes.
make those decisions. Um, I'd say, I've had several spiritual awakenings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that my first one started really when I had just graduated high school, and I was in this very, very dark place,
Yes.
where I had no relationship with God, had no relationship with myself, uh, was drowning in anger and bitterness,
Yes.
and I got to a point where I couldn't stand myself. I couldn't stand being in my own body.
Yeah.
And I realized that there was a lot of forgiving that I had to do.
Yes.
I had a lot of heartbreak throughout life, not just romantically,
But personal.
but in my home with my parents, and I just felt like that's what I needed to address. So the first awakening was at that moment,
Yes.
where I started to forgive not only others but myself,
Yes.
and allow myself to be reborn. And it's funny that when that started to happen, I think I could have been 21 or something, but I think that when that started to happen, I stopped having night terrors.
Yes.
I don't know if some of you believe in demons, but
Oh, I do. I've seen them.
yes, like
yeah, that's real.
I definitely have connections with the spirit realm.
Yes.
And from an early age, I was followed by demons,
Yes.
and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even be comfortable in the dark.
Yes.
And once I started to work through my anger issues and through the forgiving process, I started feeling lighter and feeling cleaner, and I wasn't being pursued anymore.
Yes.
Like I
Because
couldn't.
it's a healing process.
Yeah, I couldn't feel them anymore, and all of a sudden I was okay. Like turning off the light, I wouldn't have to zoom into
that
bed.
was me, yes.
Yeah.
But somebody's gonna grab you from underneath the bed like that,
Yeah. I mean, it was intense. Like I
Yes.
remember sitting there and like checking the room,
Yes.
closing my eyes, checking,
Yeah.
and that's not a good place to be in. And you know what I can say to people that are in that place is you have to really dig and find what the issue is,
Yes, and deal
because
with it.
that's not normal. It's not a normal way to live. um so you know, I've had several moments, you know,
But
where
that last one,
this the
that last one, that trip.
yeah, this last one. So this last spiritual awakening that I
Mm-hmm.
had happened right before my 30th birthday.
Yes.
Um, I was already established in my career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people assumed, I guess, through Instagram and what we post, you know, that I was living my best life. But I had gotten to a point where I didn't see the point of life.
Mm.
I had lost that spark,
Yes.
and I was right back in that dark place that I found myself in as a teenager.
Yes.
And when I felt those emotions again, as vividly as I did, I said, absolutely not. I
Mm-hmm.
am not going past this age down that same cycle.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll speak on it with a great amount of respect,
Yes.
because, you know, I've come to understand this medicine in another way,
Yes.
where this is this is people's like um,
Culture,
culture,
beliefs. Uh huh.
identity, you know, and I'm simply someone that is in the US that heard about it and came to
Wow.
try it out. But you know, ayahuasca is definitely what saved me. I heard about it through someone a few
Is it like a
years.
shaman or a
um
medicine woman or man?
it's, yeah, like it's a medicine man.
Okay. Okay.
I,
Okay.
yeah, like from I used to say shaman, but from what I've been taught
Mm-hmm.
is that shaman is a European term,
Okay.
and that we don't use that word, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. Yes.
So you know, they have different names for it, like I can't remember right now, but like I think a
Yeah.
medicine man
I
would
think that would be more,
yeah.
yeah, organic.
But you know, when I chose to make that trip, I did go to Peru. I went into the jungle, and I
Yes.
sat, you know, with indigenous people that, like, they do this every single day. Like, this is their
Yes.
life, you know,
Wow.
and the way that they live is completely different from us, you know. So I went into that space, and the the truths that were revealed to me completely changed my life. It was like a veil was removed,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And when I was in ayahuasca, by the way, is a plant. She's known as the grandmother plant, and I like to call her the plant of truth,
Uh-huh.
because when you drink her, it's in a tea form, and when you drink her, you step into this realm of truth. And this place where I was at, it felt like the origin of where we come from.
Yes.
It was all black, it's all
Mm-hmm.
dark, and there is no you or me in this realm. We
Yes.
are one. And that was that was a little overwhelming,
Yes.
where I didn't have my body or my
Mm-hmm.
identity in this realm,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just one consciousness. And
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty
Yeah, wow.
intense.
I'm like,
Yeah,
wow. It's
yeah,
like, wait a minute.
it was pretty intense. And you know, there's so many things that I healed from
Mm-hmm.
in that journey. But you can learn things when you're on that journey,
Yes.
but it's all about how you apply them to your regular life when you
Yes.
get back. From my understanding, even this life is not real.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dream. And when you die, you wake up
I hear you.
and you realize fuck, it was just a dream. I could have
Yes.
done whatever I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know how
No, no, no. I
when
get you.
like and you know, this is even like for people that are on their deathbeds,
Yeah.
they've heard them say things like that where they're just like, it was all so easy. You know, and you hear them talking about these
Yeah.
things, and now I understand because I was in that realm where I was like, wow, like none of this matters. Like I
Yeah.
remember sitting there in the dark, and I was just like, none of it matters. Like it's not
Yes.
real. It's not real. You know, it's all, it's literally your movie.
It's
You're
like a
the,
temporary thing.
yeah,
That's why a lot of people ask, like, you're running for mayor of Inglewood. Yeah, because I know for me, once it's my time to go, which I don't know that plan yet. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm gonna die in my 40s or my 50s, or I'm gonna live to be 100. But I know when that day comes where I cross over, I don't want no regrets. I
absolutely.
do not want no regrets because I know on the other side will be a whole nother journey.
Yeah.
And so once that spiritual awakening happened, how did the rap come about? Because you blew my mind. Because I know the show is going to come to a close. So I want to talk a little bit about the rap journey, and then I'll bring you back for a part two.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, you know, when I started rapping, I was an undercover rapper
Uh
for
huh.
about 10 years.
Uh
So
huh.
I didn't show anybody. Okay. This was just like a hobby that I had.
Yes.
And, you know, I would show a few friends here and there. And I think at this time, I had kind of stepped out a little bit more. I was
Mm-hmm.
in a building where there was a lot of music people in
Yes.
that building, lots of music studios. So I had started showing them a little bit. And, you know, they were like encouraging me. You know, they were like, girl, like, we think you should do it like this, you know. And I would kind of get in my head about it a little bit, you
Yes.
know, and you know, fear always kind of steps in, doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this story. During my ceremony, I was sitting with ayahuasca, and I was asking her a lot of questions about
Mm-hmm.
life. And I got to a moment where I said, ayahuasca, what about music? And she kind of stared at me, and she was like, yeah. She goes, you could, you know. And actually she told me that my friends were lying to me about how good they thought my music was. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah. She
God.
So at first she told
Uh
me,
huh.
you know, they lie to you about how your music is. And I sat there, I feel maybe for about 10 minutes. I
Yeah.
sat there and I was sulking a little bit, and I was like, what? Like, I thought I was tight, you know? And I kind of sat there and I said, no, I am tight, you know? And
Yeah.
like, I told her, and I said, no. And I said, I'm tight. I said, what are you talking about?
Yes.
So I think she was testing me.
Yeah. Your confidence. Uh
Yes, I
huh.
think she was testing.
Yeah.
She's like that. She's interesting.
Yes.
So I think she was testing me. And then, you know, I told her, I'm sorry.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's like 1 minute.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. You know, I told her, okay, so then she said, well, you could do it. And she puts me on this stage with big lights, huge
Yes.
lights. And she says, but what is your message? She goes, what is it that you are going to do for the people that are watching you?
Yes.
You know, and that to me stood out so
It's a
much.
powerful question.
Yeah, because, you know, I love rap music, but
Mm-hmm.
I am not in denial of the influences that it had in my life.
Yes.
You know, like growing up, I idolized the gang
Oh
culture.
yeah, me too.
You know, I oh yes. You know, I like idolized like violence, and you
Yes.
know, like I had pride in my toughness.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, especially living in LA, you
Yes.
are kind of taught that you need to be this
Yes.
way, you know. And now that I've gone through that awakening, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, it's about love, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And you know, I see life in a different way now,
Yes.
and I carry myself in a different way, and I live a different lifestyle, and I want to promote that lifestyle. for so long, I listened to music that encouraged me to drink and to smoke and do all
Yes.
kinds of things, which I did for 15 years. I was an alcoholic.
Yes.
I was a pothead, and I did all kinds of things. But now, I've been clean for.
Now you have clarity.
Yes, I've been clean for about 2.5 years, and I owe that to that experience
Yes.
in Peru. And I want to talk about these things in my music,
As you should.
and I want to promote a a sober lifestyle. It's like, instead of doing what they're doing, I want to stay true to myself.
Yes.
I never want to compromise what the message is. I never want to compromise what the plan is.
Yes.
And that is to deliver the message that I was born to deliver, which is to kind of like live in that image of God, and it'll sound like kind of cliche and corny to some people, but it's like we're put here to evolve.
Yes.
Each single one of us to be the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
So that's simply my message.
Well, thank you for your message.
Oh,
and I know my viewers definitely just got educated, empowered. You know what I mean? She taught awareness on so many levels. And we're going to have a part 2 regarding music and also the spiritual journey, because this interview was not enough for me spiritually. And I think we need a part 2. So until then, we will see you next time. This is Raina Creel with Purpose and Passion. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.